Fast-paced games suck to make. Level design for fast-paced games is just really difficult. The reason for this is kind of funny, but also quite simple. Level design in general is already difficult because you have to make it engaging, you have to make it convey the emotions that you want to convey in your game. You want it to tell the player things without the use of text. In short, there's just a lot you can do with level design. Now, if you make a lovely level jam-packed with story, lore, and cool Easter eggs and kinds of things like that, and then make the player play through it 10 times faster, the level will also be 10 times shorter. So levels must be much longer for fast-paced games, while also still being just as engaging. Less detail due to longer levels isn't super viable as well if you want to make levels quicker, as if done wrong, your level could end up being just really bland and could demotivate people to play. These problems are something my game kind of suffers with at the moment. I'm also working on the third level, which I'm trying to make longer with much larger open arena type rooms to allow for more movement and bouncing around the place, which is what I originally wanted in the first and second. It is kind of there, but it's just not very well. For fast-paced games as well, due to multiple different movement tech that your game may possess, players can use them to break the game. Especially if you add more things in the future, you have to go back to previous levels and make sure that it still works, but that kind of applies to almost every form of game. For instance, if somehow a player in my game gets enough shots with the shotgun, they could probably just shotgun jump their way out of the level if there was no roof. To combat this, I could just make the shotgun have a lower fire rate, so you would have fallen by the time you need to shoot again. Keeping the players engaged. Due to the need for extended levels, you may get caught up in specifically that, making the levels longer. By sticking to the level length, you may forget about things to keep players engaged. If they're just doing almost the same thing throughout the level, it will get tiresome. A good fix to lack of engagement is curvy levels. Not just straightforward levels, but make some sharp bends here and there. Another thing, of course, is effects. Now, there's no need to go overboard with explosions and blood and stuff, but just find a good balance, one that plays into the chaotic nature of this genre, but doesn't bloat the screen and demotivate the player. I'm still playing around with particles in my games, and I'm still due for more sound effects, but we're getting there. Just recently, I lowered the explosiveness of the blood splatter from enemy deaths. From one enemy, it was fine, but from a swarm of them, it just so much stuff on the screen. It was just so cluttered. Last topic I'll talk about is AI. For fast-paced games and its enemy behavior and how it should work really depends on how the game is played. Games like Ultra Kill need swarms of enemies to keep the player moving and keep the player on their toes, while games like Carlson and Ghost Runner have less of that. Carlson I can't really say much of as it isn't released yet, but from what I've seen, it seems to look like that. Now, they're games that are fast, yeah, but because you're sliding around most of the time, heading directly towards an enemy, enemies can stay still. They don't have to move. Now, my game is swarm-based, similar to Ultra Kill, so I need to work on that more. The Husk, which are like grunt-level enemies, are way too excited, and they, I guess, skittish almost, and they tend to run around a lot, and they're just so hard to hit. I'll end the video here. This video is very different from my usual devlog style, but I thought I might try it. I've seen a few people do kind of like a rant style video, and I thought it might be fun to do. The whole idea was just to talk about something that's just been on my mind, while also subtly showing updates for my game. So tell me if you like sort of commentary developer things, and I don't know, I might do it more, I might do it less. And also, yeah, subscribe, that'd be cool. Discord below, yeah, bye-bye.